Only siblings understand the struggle of sharing a bathroom, hiding your snacks, and calling shotgun. And that's why I brought my sister here. And we're gonna see if these sibling claims are true or false. And let me tell you, we both definitely experienced this first one.
Only younger siblings will understand it. So I'm the younger sibling, I'm gonna get this one for sure.
All right,
She's walking to a room,
what's going on here?
just an empty room.
So,
Who gets this one, Matt?
I can actually relate to this one more than a younger sibling because my younger sister moved out before I did. This is false. Little sibling will understand. What is with all of these videos for little siblings?
They're just the better sibling.
You get player 2.
Yeah.
Any older brother knows this is 100% the play. You have to give your younger sibling the worst controller so you can destroy them in the game.
So this was true.
Definitely
Very,
true.
very mean, Matthew.
So far, everything's been about younger siblings. Let's
We're
see.
just better.
Only if you have siblings, you'll understand this. Okay, so what's going on?
They're hiding snacks. Yeah.
That is actually super big brain. Whenever you have a sibling, you have to get your favorite snack and hide it all the way back in the freezer so your dumb little sister can't find it. Definitely true.
No, this is false. Do not do this to your younger sibling. It's mean. Share your food.
Me and my sibling getting along and vibing. This is already false. Me and Cheyenne never get along. Play the next
That
clip.
is such a lie. We're like best friends, Matt.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes
I can imagine if you were sharing a room with a sibling, it would be terrible. Luckily, I never had to do that.
Yeah, thank goodness. I would not have been able to survive sharing a room with you. Okay, this one was false for us.
It would be true. If I had to share a room, I would hate it.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's true.
Comment down below if you think team older sibling or younger sibling's gonna win.
Younger
Let's
sibling.
watch this next clip.
Dude, I thought you were gonna shower. Yeah, I am. I'm going right now. No, you're taking too long. I'm going. No, I'm going. Don't get out of the way.
This is 100% false. I'm going to fill you guys in on an amazing fact. Step aside, Cheyenne.
Okay.
If you are ever fighting with your sibling on who showers first, you are just not smart. The real strategy is to allow them to shower first so you can get extra sleep in the morning. They might use all the hot water, but you get extra sleep.
False. Only the tall middle sibling will understand this video.
I'll just use the ladder.
I can get it straight there. You just give me a gap.
Oh no.
I always see memes online about the middle sibling. Me and Cheyenne are the only two, so there's not really a middle sibling, but there definitely is a favorite.
I wish that wasn't true, but it is true. You are the favorite.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
That makes me feel bad now. Based on everything I see online, very true, middle siblings always get the most hate.
Sorry, middle siblings.
Only siblings will understand this.
You gave them to me.
Now, you would think me and Cheyenne wouldn't be able to relate to this, but somehow I will wake up in the morning and she is wearing my outfit somehow.
Yeah, no, I steal your clothes all the time, actually.
My entire life growing up, I dreamed of my girlfriend wearing my hoodies and stuff, and sadly it's just my sister.
This is definitely true.
So horribly true.
Things only middle siblings understand.
We have another middle sibling video here.
I feel so bad for the middle siblings.
This way with never cleaning up her stuff, and I'm.
We gotta get ready for Uncle Paul's house.
Ooh, shut it first shower.
Alright, second.
I can actually kind of relate to this, yeah. You always get everything first, for sure.
That's not true at all.
That is 100% true.
I get everything first, but I get the horrible stuff. I got a horrible car. She's had 7 cars. She wrecked half of them.
True. Only sisters would understand. I'll get this one.
Since only sisters will understand this, can you please explain?
I think they're just screaming at each other. I don't have a sister, I only have a brother, so we don't really fight like that. He just tells me to be quiet.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to win an argument with Cheyenne.
Oh, is she throwing stuff at her? I don't think we ever got in a fight like that.
No.
No. I'm gonna say false. I don't feel like we ever fought like that.
All right, this is all me. Only the older sibling will understand.
My heart went.
That is actually extremely accurate. Cheyenne steals all of my food. Editors make her look like Jabba the Hutt because she steals all my food.
What?
True.
That is very true.
Hello everyone, very nice meeting you all. I hope you all had a very good holiday. The first,
I already know where this video is going. The younger sibling is gonna get called the older sibling's name at school.
so first off, Max Taylor Anderson. You wouldn't happen to be related to William Anderson?
I'm actually so proud of this story. I heard Cheyenne used to be called Little Beam at our high school because of me.
What's so messed up is he's 5 years older than me. So he was graduated before I even went to high school, and they would literally be like, Little Beam, down the hallway.
That's because they have a statue of me at my school.
That's a complete lie.
We're going off tangent right now. It's my dream to go back to my school and have them hang up my YouTube play buttons. So you should subscribe so I can get a 10 million Beam Team channel in my old school.
That's not ever gonna happen.
Oh, so you don't like our channel?
I like her, no! I just hope our school doesn't ever have anything of you in there, because I will puke. This one's definitely true, though.
That's definitely not mine.
That's mine as well. That's the shorts mine. What are you doing? That's Declan's.
Cheyenne can't relate to this because she smells and never does her laundry.
Do you even know how to use a washing machine?
I'm more of an old school guy, so I take it out in the sink, wash it by hand, and then hang it up outside.
True.
You all right? What you doing?
I actually can't relate to this because my sister's not smart enough to know how to turn off my Xbox.
Okay, you're so rude.
Wait. You just asked me how to clean clothes. How do you turn off an Xbox?
You click the little button that looks like. This one's true.
This one's false. Cheyenne does not know how to turn on Xbox.
Growing up with only brothers be like.
Stop! I hate you! I love you!
So I don't actually say those things, but that's exactly what I'm thinking every time Cheyenne's been talking in this video so far.
That is actually a lie. He says those things all the time.
Mods, pressure scope.
Yeah, I just said really mean stuff in my head about you.
This is definitely true.
Yo, can you get out of my room? Shut my door, yo.
I'm gonna pause this right here. I guarantee you he's gonna leave the door open just to make the sibling mad.
Yep.
What the f? Why?
This video was 100% accurate until the reaction happened because Cheyenne would just sit there and be like, Mom, he didn't close my door. And then just stay there for 10 minutes and not close the door.
That is true, yeah.
I definitely shouldn't say this next line, so editors, please cut this. It's gonna make me look crazy, but when I was a little bit younger, I loved watching Michael Myers, so I would scare my sister with like a butter knife and open the door like that.
Yeah.
Girls play with Barbie dolls. I was just playing pretend in a different way. True, I tried to kill Cheyenne. When you tell your brother to take one bite,
Oh, half the sandwich is gone.
Cheyenne can actually never finish her food, so she always just gives it to me.
That is true, actually. Yeah, this one's true.
POV, you're the older sibling for no reason.
Didn't I tell you to clean your room? Huh?
Yeah.
I tell you to clean.
I can already say this is true.
No. I have never done anything like this to Cheyenne.
Okay, no. We have a balcony over stairs in our house, and he would dangle me over it until our mom would come home, and then he'd be like, don't tell her I did that. Yeah, he's laughing because he knows it's true.
True.
Yeah. The older sibling. Oh, they calling mom.
Yo, what did I tell you about using my cell phone? That's mine. Oh! This is your fault. What are you crying for?
I would actually never let my sister steal my phone.
That is true. He would always take my phone and hide it from me until I would go and tell our mom.
I actually stole my sister's phone one time and typed in the most generic, like one-word phrases that a girl would pick, and I actually got into her phone.
I actually still have that same password.
It's Hope.
Okay, well, now everyone knows my phone password.
The younger sibling walking to the front seat.
A lot of these things are based on younger siblings. How terrible is it being a younger sibling?
Pretty bad. Yeah, watch. I guarantee the older sibling, yep, is gonna come in and like drag her out. Yep.
So this is actually 100% false. I would never fight over sitting in the front seat because I'm always the one driving.
That is true. Yeah, I don't ever drive. I'm not a great driver.
She's a terrible driver.
Hey, I'm at work. What do you want? I need you. Okay, what do you need? Missed call. I said I'm at work. Missed call. I can't call right now. Missed call. Missed call. Missed call. Missed call. Pick up the phone.
Like, you have ever seen those things and it's like, who would you call? And if they didn't answer, you get $1 million? I would call Matthew.
If I knew that was actually a game, I would answer it just so she didn't win the $1 million.
That one is true. You never answer your phone.
All younger siblings will understand this. All right, what do we got going
The
here?
fake cry, for sure. Yeah.
I actually have a crazy story with this one.
I know exactly what you're gonna tell too.
The way I found out my sister was completely evil, she was like 3 years old, she couldn't even speak, and she just looked down and started biting herself viciously. I thought she was crazy, and then as soon as she was done, she screamed, Mom, Matt bit me.
I stand by that. Still to this day, I stand by that.
She's a psychopath.
This one is definitely true. I would fake cry.
I don't ever cry.
Only younger siblings will understand.
Get out home and watch TV. But I was here first. I was born first.
This is false. Me and Cheyenne never fight over what channel to watch. I just decide.
No, that statement at the end, I was born first. You say that to me all the time.
No. Cheyenne's been playing up this entire video. We're actually best friends.
Only older siblings will understand.
All right, this is me. I'm repping for the older siblings right now. Watch out, Cheyenne.
I didn't even get to watch it because you pushed me on a screen.
Next clip. Older
Okay.
siblings win.
Seriously, I literally can't even watch the clip. Move over.
Up at school.
Yeah. No, this is so true.
You ready?
Yeah.
No way! Come and sit in. I can't believe I got my first car.
Thanks, Dad.
Darcy, you're gonna love this.
I knew it. A brand new Mercedes. And she's mad 'cause it's the wrong
Give me
color.
blue, we'll get you blue. I'll take that back and we'll get you blue, all right?
Definitely true.
True.
Baby, to let you know, we'll let you go.
I actually love this. Having a sibling is the best form of entertainment. I can just do whatever I want to mess with her. Like pouring this water on her.
Okay. Crazy. Crazy.
Donnell, that's you. Boy, Boy, look at you. Boy, looking like
This never happened to me and Cheyenne because we're so different in age. We never saw each other at school.
Yeah, he's like ancient, so.
This is probably true for other people, but false for us. POV, your parents come home early.
They're running. They're doing something they weren't supposed to do.
This isn't accurate at all because I'm an amazing child, and whatever I do with my mom there or without is the same thing. I'm gonna get one of those tattoos that says mom right there. Editors put that on. Big brother for no reason. Which one's the big brother?
Probably the one that just hit him.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, that one is true.
Oh, Avengers Endgame? Yeah.
This is you.
Oh, you know that Iron Man dies already?
You spoil every movie ever.
That's not true.
I remember I went to the Twilight premiere at the movie theater. I was so excited. The last movie, and he's like, it was all a dream, huh? It ruined my day. I was so excited. Imagine if I did that for Star Wars.
Name one Star Wars character.
Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, Jabba the Hutt. Don't test me, bro.
You look like the last one you said.
That is true. He spoils everything. Oh. Who is that, Matt? Who does that?
This one's actually not true because me and my sister are best friends and we would never do anything like that.
Yeah.
And we want to be good role models to you guys. You should be great siblings as well
Siblings.
to each other.
False.
My sister started school yesterday, so I gave her a fake F on her homework.
I never did this, but this would actually be genius.
No.
Putting a fake horrible grade on my sister's homework.
It's an F, Seema? What, you got an F?
I don't even have homework yet.
You're already failing. Okay, you know what? Give me your phone. You're failing. Give me your phone.
I hate you, Kitty. I would have freaked out.
Cheyenne's such a baby that she cried one time because she got like a B+.
I did. It was a big deal.
It makes me so mad when she does stuff like that.
It just makes you mad because I'm better than you. Like, I just always had all A's. I don't know what to say.
Walking past your sister's room.
He's gonna knock stuff, yeah.
I actually do this one a lot, but I would have left the door open. Oh, there you go. He did it. Let's dap him up to the camera.
Yeah, that's true.
Move!
Oh, whoops. Who's that?
Demon Lord.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Why don't you know?
They didn't say.
They didn't name him? That's weird.
Well, maybe they did. I don't
Well,
know.
do you think he...
Mom!
I relate to this one so much, it's making me mad. Play the next clip.
Yeah, that's true. I do this all the time, actually.
See ya.
That's actually me and Shine when we're done recording together. I'm just gonna run out of the room and say, see ya.
He's like, bye. And then we don't talk to each other again. Yeah, so I guess that's true.
Brother barging into your room to show you something
I
random.
love how every single one of these clips is the brother running into the room
It happens all the time.
and then doing the most random thing imaginable,
And then
which
the
you
lights
always have to turn on.
Turning off. Yeah.
Notice how she always talks over me.
Okay. It's like dividing it perfectly.
This is not accurate at all because Cheyenne is such a picky eater that she would never eat what I eat.
This guy only ate dino nuggets until last year.
I eat pizza rolls, dino nuggets, cheeseburgers, and she eats like salads and bougie stuff, so we don't share food ever.
It's true, actually.
I actually love doing this to my dad. Let's see how
No
this goes.
phones at the dinner table.
Yeah, you do this all the time.
I said no phones!
Yeah, that's what our Christmas looks like every year.
That's exactly how my dad would react too.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Abby! We're gonna go in at like 6 o'clock tomorrow to school. I have to go in early.
Okay, that's fine.
This is actually hilarious. This was the way that we texted back in the Stone Ages.
No, that's totally true. We would talk at this all the time as kids. That's true.
Allie,
Yeah.
go to McDonald's.
Okay.
You know, get some food.
Yeah?
This one's actually sad.
Yeah.
He's trying to do everything that he can to have his sister go with him so they can hang out.
Why wouldn't he just ask though?
Okay.
Can you come?
Dude, you could just ask. What the heck?
That is actually extremely relatable.
Yeah, why don't you just ask, like, hey, can we hang out?
That's actually a good point.
That one, I guess, is true for you. Yeah.
Can you explain that to the audience?
I guess they got in the bathroom first. The other one's mad.
We are trying to reach 1 million subscribers on this channel as fast as possible, so steal your sibling's phone and subscribe.